OpenCut just lost the crown. Last week's champion did not slip to number 2. It fell off the board entirely. And the new number 1 is gaining over 1000 GitHub stars every single day. This is the AI Billboard Week 2. 10 AI tools, 1 chart, ranked by 1 number. Real momentum on GitHub, measured the same way for everyone. By the end of this countdown, you will know exactly which tools developers are installing right now, because 8 of this week's 10 are brand new entries. The board did not move this week, it turned over. And the story starts with the chart itself almost dying. Let me show you. Here is the drama nobody saw coming. GitHub quietly shut off public access to star history. They announced it at the end of June, and sometime in the last 2 weeks, the switch flipped. Last week, this chart came straight from the GitHub API. This week, that exact same call returns not found, and every public star tracker on the internet went dark with it. So we rebuilt the math. The Internet Archive keeps dated snapshots of every repository's front page, star count included. We take last week's snapshot, diff it against the live star count, which still works, and divide by the exact number of days in between, stars per day. One clean number, same math for a 2-year-old giant and a 2-week-old rookie, and every snapshot is public, so you can check the count yourself. Methodology in the description. Now, what actually happened to OpenCut? Last week, OpenCut gained 11,000 stars in 7 days, nearly as many as the other 9 tools combined. This week, it is gaining 205 a day. That is an 87% collapse in velocity, and it did not just cost OpenCut the crown. It knocked it clean off the board all the way down to number 12. Nothing broke. The free CapCut replacement is still mid-rewrite, and the roadmap is intact. This is simply what a viral spike looks like the week after the spike. Momentum is alone, and this week the chart collected. Remember that shape because you are about to see the same curve pointing up 8 times in a row. Number 10. Number 10. Scroll World. Last week's upset, the tiny repo that earned 94% of its lifetime stars in a single week, holds on at 220 stars a day with 7,200 total. The spike cooled. The project survived it. And surviving alone puts it ahead of some giants this week. Number 9. OpenAI Codex. 251 stars a day, 103,500 total. And here is the brutal part. Codex and Scroll World are the only 2 survivors from last week's entire board. Anthropic's Skills Library Marketing Skills, OpenWeb UI, LangGraph, Obsidian Skills, the MCP servers. All of them off the chart. And Google's ADK is dead last again at 20 stars a day. Coldest number on the board, 2 weeks running. Number 8 is where the new entries begin. Colibri, 351 stars a day, 2,300 total, 1 month old. A pure C inference engine that runs a 744 billion parameter model on 25 gigabytes of RAM with no GPU at all. The full teardown of how that is even possible is linked below. Number 7. OpenCode, 368 a day, 192,000 total. The free open source coding agent we put head to head against Claude Code this week, and its free tier built the same app in under a minute, faster than the paid champion, for $0. The whole face-off is linked below. If this chart is useful, hit subscribe because it is free, and if you want to back the work, hit join here or the supporter button on Facebook. Now, the top 5. Number 6, the last 30 days skill. 441 stars a day, 57,000 total. One free command that reads the last 30 days of Reddit, X, YouTube, and Polymarket and hands your agent a research brief Google cannot produce. We ran the engine live on camera in the deep dive linked below. Number 5, ECC, 476 a day, and the biggest repository on the entire board at 237,000 stars. 6 months old and still adding nearly 500 a day. We have audited this thing 3 times on this channel, sandboxed, install and all. That story is below. Number 4, OpenWork, 502 stars a day, 20,600 total. The free open source alternative to Claude Cowork. This week we gave it Coworker's own benchmark, 27 real receipts, and its free model matched the audit to the penny, $1,558.28. Exact. That video is linked below. Number 3, and this one is moving scary fast. OpenWorker, Andrew Ng's free AI employee, the app that hands you finished files instead of chat. 759 stars a day. And here is the stat of the week. It is 2 weeks old and it nearly doubled this week, from 6,400 stars to 12,300. 92% growth in 7 days. Nothing else on the board came close. Number 2, Orca, 878 stars a day, 36,300 total, up 6,500 this week. Orca is the desktop that runs 5 Claude Code agents in parallel, each in its own isolated workspace. When we tested it, 3 of the 5 agents flagged a planted bug we never mentioned. That test is linked below. And here is the scale of this week. Last week, 800 a day would have taken the crown easily. This week, it is not even close. Number 1, Tool of the Week, Buzz, 1,044 stars a day. The only tool on the board past 1,000 and the new champion of week 2. Buzz is the Hive mind communication platform from Jack Dorsey's block. One shared workspace where your team and your AI agents talk to each other. Free and open source. 7 days ago, it had 14,000 stars. Today, it has 21,500. That is a 52% jump in 1 week on a repo that already had its launch moment 2 weeks ago. A second wave is rarer than a first one, and it usually means the people who installed it are telling other people. We covered Buzz the week it launched. That deep dive is linked below. Buzz, Tool of the Week, week 2. So here is the full board for the week ending August 3rd. Buzz on top at over 1,000 a day. Orca and OpenWorker completing an all-new podium. OpenWork, ECC and the last 30 days skill holding the middle. Codex and Scroll World, the only survivors, guarding the bottom. 8 new entries out of 10. Screenshot this chart. Because last week's question, does anything dethrone OpenCut, just got the loudest possible answer. And next week has 3 questions. Can Buzz hold 1,000 a day? Can Andrew Ng's employee keep that pace? And does OpenCut claw its way back onto the board? Somebody rises, somebody falls. That is the show. I packed this week's full chart into one free PDF. All 10 rankings with the exact numbers. The new Internet Archive methodology, so you can verify every count yourself. And the link to every deep dive in chart order. Comment the word chart and I will send it to you, or grab it from the link in the description. If you are just getting started, my step-by-step beginner guides for Claude Code are linked down there too. We are on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram as Hyperautomation Labs. So follow wherever you are watching. The chart resets next week. Be here when it does. I will see you at number 1.